One of the things that's interesting about employment statistics is where they talk about how small businesses create 72% of jobs or 83% or whatever it is. They say it changes. Well, the IRS definition of a small business is someone who employs fewer than 500 people. I don't know if there's a business that employs 500 people within 100 miles of me. So we don't have any large employers. Apparently we don't have any small employers. In Big Stone County, there are 1,900 employees. But there's also over 400 people who are what they call non-employers. Basically, they run a one-man business. A car repair shop, hair salons, insurance salesmen, people like that. Now, the reason that that figure is important is that if you look at, any sort of government aid program, stimulus money or economic development money or something like that, if you're applying for a grant, about the third line down, you'll say, how many jobs will this create? And if you put, 0, you're out of luck. You can't get any help at all. You're not even on the radar. And that's a real issue because it takes several different specific skill sets to successfully run a business. And most of us only have one. And if the government is telling us, you don't matter, those 400 some non-employers, but people who contribute $17 million to the economy in Big Stone County, they're cut off from just the little extra bit of assistance that could really make a profound difference in your lives. Okay, we're going to go in and interview a couple of those people. And here we are at Amanda Athey's Amanda's Sheer Impressions shop on Main Street in Clinton, Minnesota. Amanda, thank you so much for taking time at the end of your day to talk about this. How long have you been here?
About 3.5 years.
Okay, what made you decide to start your own business instead of just going and working at a larger salon?
The small town kind of needed someone to come do hair. The other lady had to retire. So what else do you want me to say?
And this was, and Clinton's your home, right?
Yep, Clinton. I grew up on a farm south of town. So you know a lot of people here. So
now you do know almost everyone. Of your clients, how many of them are people who would have trouble driving 10 or 20 miles to get their hair done?
I couldn't say a percentage, but I have probably 10 weekly ladies that come every Thursday or Friday. So they don't really like to drive anywhere. So it's them ladies, plus now I go out to the care center and they can't drive anywhere.
So, in addition to a business, it's also a service.
Yep.
Now, the other thing is, when you were first starting out in this business, would it have been nice for there to be someone to give you financial advice or accounting advice or any of the things that you've had to learn to run a business?
Yeah, I really didn't do much accounting like in high school or anything, so stuff like that, I kind of just learned it. I guess my mom's been a lot of help with that kind of stuff so far.
But you just kind of started on your own, didn't you?
Yep, pretty much. Got a few things handed down to me from a past beautician, and then the rest kind of has come from there.
And you painted the walls purple and...
Yep.
And went from there.
Went from there, yeah. The building needed a little help, but...
Well, when they talk about how 50% of businesses closed in the first year, you are a real success, and you've done it all on your own.
Yes, it's been kind of nice.
And here we are, just across the street from Amanda, talking to Rich Thurston at Computer Technical Services here in Clinton. Rich, how long have you been in this business?
28 years.
What made you decide to come to a place like Clinton?
Mostly I was a hometown boy in a small town, and I liked the small town environment, and that's what made me decide on Clinton.
Now, you have some very specific technical skills. Why in the world do you decide to run your own business as opposed to work for someone a lot bigger and maybe more lucrative?
I went through the corporate stuff for many years, and you're nothing more than a number, and yes, you can get laid off if times get rough, things like that. I made the decision that I was going to go out and do it on my own and give it a whirl, so I took a sabbatical from Control Data in order to give it a try for a year and see if it would work. And 28 years later, I'm still here, so obviously it worked.
Rich, I'm afraid your sabbatical might have expired, just as a heads up.
Yes, it expired after 1 year.
So what do you do here?
Programming, web page development, fixing computers, kicking out viruses, you name it.
Now, you've been in this a long time, and you've succeeded at it. But try and think back to when you were starting out.
Mm-hmm.
You came here with a technical education and started a business. Are there other things you wish you would have known, or you wish you could have had a little guidance on that would have made the whole process easier?
Well, fortunately, a lot of the local people helped with that. At the time, we had a tax accountant across the street that was Sweezy, and that helped take care of the books and get me going on that. One of the big things that helped right away was having the cheese factory right over in Big Stone. I was able to, become their technician for hire, as to say, and that was a big boom for the business.
So, with a little help from your friends, you were able to pull it off.
Oh yes, you're definitely not going to do this alone, that's for sure.
Thank you very much, Rich.
You're welcome, Brent.
And here we are on Main Street in Clinton. There's not as many businesses as there used to be, but there's at least two.